Hello, everybody. This is Fabian Schnegg, Director of Engineering and Manufacturing at NextFlex, and I'm here today to give you a little update on the things that we've been up to for the last year and a couple months. The NextFlex Tech Hub is where the engineering and manufacturing team is active in, and what we strive for is to be an active participant in developing hybrid electronics manufacturing processes. And the emphasis here is on active. We want to be a valuable project partner for members, government partners, and commercial customers, bringing process knowledge and technology expertise to the table. This is also meant to help our members and partners to have a place where they can validate things, or we can validate their results by repeating some of the processes that they developed, therefore giving them validation. And this place is also meant to be just another part of the workforce development effort that NextFlex is so active in, meaning that the people that come and work with us at NextFlex will grow into subject matter experts and hopefully into future leaders in this space. So here are a few of the great things that we've been working on and have accomplished in this last year. First of all, we've really been digging into the process of soldering onto silver printed traces with some pretty good, very recent successes. So these new materials that are available that make soldering onto printed silver possible are mostly using low temperature solder pastes, which some of them are such low temperature you can actually do reflow soldering on PET, which with conventional processes would probably badly deform or even melt. The conductivity of the ink that we've been using is actually higher than what we had been using before this. And the bonds we can achieve with soldering are mechanically very sound, and we achieve very, very low contact resistance as well. So the microcontroller, which is NextFlex's A21 design, has been the validation vehicle for this process, and we have achieved very good yields up to over 90%. And we are, as I'm recording this, going through another iteration of a larger run so that we can get some statistically significant data behind those numbers. We've also done environmental testing on some of these test patterns that we have built, showing very, very promising results. A few of the samples went through over 1,000 hours of 85 C and 85% relative humidity, and had practically no change in contact resistance during that time. The other really exciting one that I have on the slide is about some recent tests with one of our test patterns that we created for Army DEFCOM, which is for high acceleration tests. In this case, the sample we provided was shot out of an air cannon at 24,000 G. And what you see on the two images on the right here is a 3D CAD rendering of that test pattern with different components, SMT resistors, some QFN daisy chains, some BGA daisy chains, and some SOT components. And on the right, you see the actual test fixture, which is shown after the test. And if you look closely, you can tell that the components are all still on there, which in this case was a sample that was conductive epoxy with underfill. The other sample that did not have the underfill, most of the components actually fell off. But with the underfill, no components fell off, and I think only one of the contacts was lost during this first test. So now we're working on creating more samples, including soldered samples, and DEFCOM is planning to go further with these tests to even higher G-forces, up to 36,000, and I think even beyond that. A few pieces of equipment have been added to our lab since the last time we gave an update. So the XTPL Delta printing system is one of them. XTPL became a member of NextFlex last year, and they decided to place one of their tools in our tech hub as a loaner so that we can be their West Coast applications lab. So they have a place in the Boston area with their own people running it. And the idea was that we could do the same with and for them over on the West Coast. And we are actually working on a commercial project right now, doing some very fine solder paste dispensing. Also interesting here, XTPL actually launched so our tool is a lab tool. They launched a production tool together with a tool integrator called Odra. They launched or announced that at the Productronica show in November 2025, and I was happy enough to see it at Apex 2026 in Anaheim this year. The other tool we got as a donation from Jabil is a PVL Delta 8. It can do many different functions or can be configured in many different functions. In our case, it is a spray coater. It is inline capable, which is very interesting for us because you will see that on one of the next slides. It is compatible with a series of different materials, and we are very interested in it so that we can try different coating strategies for extreme environments applications. It is about to be installed, so it's not quite ready yet to go, but we will have it in our packaging lab very soon. So here's what I just alluded to. One of our big plans for the near future is to, in addition to our current setup of every machine is an island, so we have to carry each part from one to the other machine to go through all the process steps. We now really want to set up like a real volume manufacturing place and have as a starter an assembly line built out, starting from a stencil printer, alternatively a dual head dispense, probably jet dispense tool, and then also the inspection tools that are regularly built into assembly lines like that, the solder paste inspection, as well as a automated optical inspection after assembly. And this could be, depending on how well the funding round goes for this, it could be an AOI right after placement while the solder paste is still wet, and then another one after reflow. And all of these tools, these most recent models, are all interconnected in a way that information can be fed both back to the previous process, like the stencil printer needs to add a little offset to make it really centered, or in the same way forward so that the pick and place tool will know, you know what, the solder paste is slightly off. You should place your components a little off to a side, which will end up in the best and most centered placement after reflow. One other thing that should be very interesting for anybody who wants to partner with us, we went through a little reorganization within the engineering and manufacturing team. And I think this will be very interesting for a lot of people that are looking to work with us. So we created two positions called Technology Solutions Engineer and Engineering Project Manager. And these are the two people that work most closely with our Business Development Director, Stan Farnsworth, to make sure that we take care of all incoming project proposals or inquiries from customers in a standardized way and a streamlined way, so that you don't have to wait for our answer for too long. You get a valid feasibility assessment of what is or what is not possible, or how much work that would take to get that done, and so on. So overall, we really hope that with this structure in place, we can get to clear and achievable objectives much faster to then deliver on projects to have a real impact. So to round this up, for our members and partners to leverage the capabilities of the NextFlex Tech Hub, here are a few things to consider. So the whole idea is that you can accelerate your development through the use of our Tech Hub. You can use us for consulting, use us as your sounding board for your ideas, and please go as crazy as you want. We can absolutely handle it. Your challenge is our challenge. We can help with design, electrical, mechanical, firmware design, software development, and as you know, with all the equipment in place, we can take care of some prototyping all the way to pilot runs or small production runs. We have testing capabilities, mechanical testing like bending, shear testing, electrical, of course, and then, as I mentioned earlier, some environmental testing in-house. Please reach out if you want to use any of these things. And as I mentioned earlier, I think a great use of our Tech Hub would be process validation, where we can try to reproduce what you did in your projects to give it, well, validity. One last thing, in the box below, you see we really value your input and knowing what you know about this place. And if you don't know everything, please find us during Innovation Day and I can talk more about it. What would be the capabilities that you're currently missing from what we have in place? And do you see any other opportunities for NextFlex to further improve on the access for you to our capabilities and to our Tech Hub? If you have any suggestions, please reach out to Stan, Alex, Jackson, myself, or Dan with your ideas and your needs. I put the email addresses right here. Hopefully many of you already know us, but yes, please reach out. And just a reminder, June 9 is Innovation Day and it's around the corner. Please join us at the Computer History Museum in Mountain View, California. And if you need more information, please go to our website. You will find everything there. Thank you very much. If you need to find me, here's my contact information once again. Thank you very much and see you in June.